So he gets to that point where he makes his turn to the right. I think it's the first like little stream you cross, like a little branch that feeds Laurel Creek, and he goes out of view. And so in the few paces it takes us, the few moments, few seconds to get to that point where he rounded the bend in the trail and disappeared from view, we get there and he's gone. And you can, because we're in level ground, you can still look out and see, that the only way this old guy could have disappeared was if he was in strapping good shape and was playing a game with us. That he rounded the bend and then decided to sprint off silently with his silent footsteps and hide somewhere, like behind a little like mound of dirt or something. And that's just kind of silly. So we were kind of taken aback by the whole situation. Like this old guy has just shown up out of nowhere from behind us, walked with us for a moment or two, said a couple things, and then walked on ahead, rounded a bend, and vanished back to nowhere. And at the time, we just really did not know what to think about this at all. We were pretty surprised, and our only thought was that we had seen a ghost. This must have been a ghost. This must have been the ghost of some guy who had been hiking out here or something, and we saw an apparition. That's what we saw. We just saw an apparition. And in trying to make sense of this, like we have stopped. We have stopped dead in our tracks at this point, and we haven't walked any further, and we're waiting for our parents to catch up. And when they get there, we turn to them and we're like, "Hey, did you see that old guy? Did you see the guy that, like, did the old guy pass you guys? Did you see this old guy, Which, if they were behind us, they most certainly should have seen an old guy pass them, logically, and had been walking with us. It would have made sense. And, they would have been witness to these things happening. This fellow passing them and stopping to say something, walking with us and talking to us, and then going on his way and going around the bend. And they were like, no, we didn't see anyone. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This really got us going. Like a freshman or sophomore in high school. Fairly young. So that was the old man from nowhere to, came from nowhere and went somewhere else. Never really gave it too much thought. From time to time, I guess if it came up in a conversation, or like when we would talk about it, me and my buddy, like when we would tell the story to a group or something, I doubt anyone would remember. We told it like it was a ghost story. This must have been a ghost. This ghost we met at Virgin Falls, and not until this month did something really come back to strike me about it. And I'll tell you what it was. It was, I was in the shower one evening, and my had been taken back to one of those like Appalachian Trail moments kind of thing. Like I had discussed being here of being like totally present somewhere else, and and I was just thinking about it, like the AT and that whole like having those kinds of experiences that I discussed, and from no real place, that moment in Virgin Falls popped up in my head, and that elderly man, and but I forgot to even describe the dude. He had white hair, he had a beard, hair wasn't too long, uh, his beard wasn't even that long, you know, he had a full thick beard, good old dude beard, like good thick beard, and not judgmental or anything, good old dude beard. He had a nice beard, he had a good beard going, you know, that wild wispy old dude hair, not really long or anything, but good head of hair on him. And so I was in the shower and thinking about all this, and that moment came to me, and I heard a voice, not the not like my mind, but that intuitive voice, the voice I heard was the same voice that comes from the same space, and that's all I'll say about it. I don't want to I don't want to describe something that really doesn't deserve, you know, it remains, you can't grasp it, it's not, you know, it's in the realm of intangibility, but it's the voice that comes from the space in that place, like where your breath resides. It's the one that, you know, waits to speak. It's like the voice of Spirit, Holy Spirit, or whatever. This comes from a different place, and a place the mind isn't too familiar with. And so I just hear this voice, the subtle voice, we'll call it, and it just says 3 words to me. It just out of nowhere. I was not even thinking this, considering this, and I had never considered this until the moment after I heard this, and it just goes, "That was you." And it still gets me every time I think about it. And 2 things I gotta say about that. One, I cannot discount that. And 2, I don't know if there is a 2, but I can't say that it wasn't. And that's the real thing, is that I can't say that it was not me. He gave us some looks, you know, some real knowing looks. I guess I'll know when I get old, and I'll see if we look familiar to one another or not, because it's burnt into my memory. But yeah, the really, you know, initially my mind was like, "This couldn't have been you. That's crazy. What are you talking about?" You know, it reacted to that thought voice, but I was just like, you know, that really, I have no way of proving that it was or was not me. But something about hearing that, it just really made me think back on it. That it maybe was not a ghost. Maybe it was, or maybe it was. It's just, who knows? Only time will tell, right? But I thought you would enjoy that. Talk about a mind bender. Someone coming back to visit himself just to say, hey, nice day, isn't it? Well, y'all take it easy. Oh, it kills me. It kills me every time. I love it. Have a great evening.